friends, I'm back. I'm here today to do my March TBR. I'm gonna go back to my traditional game because I know next month for April we have a lot of things going on. We have Ramadan, we have Aurelium, a lot of stuff is happening, and I definitely won't be able to do a game that month. So I'm gonna do my game this month. I'm gonna choose as many prompts as I can. We're gonna do my traditional TBR. And I'll toss some books on my TBR. It's a pretty long month, but like a month that we don't have any breaks. So yeah, I'm gonna start with my the books I try to read every single month. And then we'll get into rolling and see how many dice we're gonna do. And then we'll just tack on any like books I know that I have to read because I got on a couple of super exciting blog tours that I'm like super excited about. And yeah, we will get into it. So let's do the my required reads, the stuff I'm trying to get to, and then we'll get to everything else. All right, I'm gonna go pick those first. A couple of purposes. The first book is to kind of wrap up my 5-star read predictions and do a wrap-up video for you. So most of these are on that. So I'm trying to make it a goal to read more YA fantasy this year because I didn't do a lot of it last year, and finally HarperCollins has settled their strike and given their workers better wages. So a lot of these are I'm including Harper titles for that reason because I don't know, I think this might be Penguin actually. But the first book I'm going to try to work on is Castle in Their Bones by Laura Sebastian. This sort of gave me Three Dark Crown vibes, but it's pretty long, and that's why I was putting a lot of these books off. But this cover is pretty. I did get approved for the sequel, so I would like to tackle this one. And I had this on my TBR for a while, and it is a 5-star read prediction because I really did love Laura Sebastian's first series. I never wound up continuing on, more of a me problem, but I really do want to read this. And when I was reading the summary, it gave me Three Dark Crown vibes, which I have loved in the past. Another one that's been on so many TBRs, and this is from Harper, I think. Yeah, this is from Harper, I believe. Yeah. Is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. I have really liked her YA books in the past, and I love books about dreams. Like, that's always fascinating to me. So these are going to be the priority books that I put on my TBR for that. And then I'm just going to chat quickly more about Spare by Prince Harry. I'm still listening to that. I was doing a ton of grading, and it made listening to that harder, so I didn't read a lot of it in February. I'm still grading, so once I'm done grading, I'm gonna pick that book back up. When I'm in my office, I can listen. I just need to focus on it, and right now I'm just not doing it, but I am enjoying it. I'm still in his childhood, which I think is very, very interesting. I'll attach a photo. I'm sure you've seen it, but here's what that looks like. That I'm still reading. I hope to finish it by early April. That I really want to complete is a sequel. I actually have a lot of options, but I do want to focus on Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Number one reason it was on my 5-star read prediction because I struggled listening to these books. So when I listened to them, I gave them all 3 stars, but when I reread it, I gave Six of Crow 5 stars. So I really hope that keeps going. And I do want to read this before the TV show comes out just to refresh my memory. And I think it will be good to have a reread as well. And these books are pretty lengthy. I have to read books that's over 500 pages. So right now it is Castle in Our Bones or my adult fantasy, which we'll talk about in a second, but something has to be over 500 pages. That has to count for Aurelium. So I'm gonna go give you guys a couple options for my final adult fantasy book, which I didn't do the greatest with in February, but let's make it better in March. I have 2 options for my adult fantasy book. My first option is The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten. I got this book from New York City Comic-Con when I went. I also think I'm getting one in like one of my book boxes, but I would love to finish this. I don't know anything about it. Honestly, it says death holds a city, she holds a death. I didn't even look up like a summary. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it's about. But I remember they were really pushing it. So I'm going to read this and hopefully I like it. I think she writes romantic fantasy, which I want to get into more of. But yeah, the other one that I did not get to in February was Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I will attach a photo. Everyone and their mother has been talking about that book, and I was planning on reading it over break, and then I just didn't wind up reading it. So that is my plan. I really want to read that, but if I have an option, I'll probably pick up the Foxglove King because I have a physical copy, but we'll see. They both might get read. We will see. So now let's get into the game. I want to tell you that I didn't really do the greatest at reading my physical TBR. I did read a lot of books, and just a lot of them weren't physical. So I'm going to make it my goal to focus on trying to get these books back on my TBR because they are the books that I wanted to read. And then at the very end, we will talk about the arcs that I'm going to focus on. But yeah, my goal is to get some of these on my TBR. We will see how successful I am. Wish me luck. But that's a lot of books. So yeah, let's get to rolling. My board that I brought back from the Great Beyond. Here is my dice. I just want like 5 or 6. So let's see what I wind up getting. 3. Okay, 4 is doable. 4 will do, and then we'll see. Maybe 4 is an option to go. So we're gonna do 4 and see where we're at. And I'm definitely gonna add more stuff to my TBR, but at least this is a way to do it, which I don't think I'll be so overwhelmed. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so 4. All right, I don't have my little dice. All right, hold on one second. All right, so we're gonna roll the first dice. We're starting here, which is where I left off. Okay, so let's see, where are we gonna go? 2. All right, let's see where we're at for 2. Ooh, okay, this one's a good one. A book on my self-destruct TBR. All right, let me go look at that list and then I'll report back. Okay, I'm really excited. I was trying to get this on a bunch of TBRs and it just never worked, but I'm going to read Rivere by Ryan LaSala. This is like a mystery thriller with a sci-fi twist, and it really twists. And when I read it, or like when I heard about it, it gave me Inception vibes. And if you know anything about me, I love that movie. It was a bit of a mind-F, but really enjoyable. And I have no idea what this is about, but I know that like they get sucked into a world. It sounds great. I have a lot of books by this author on my TBR, so I'm really excited to finally add this. It's been a bit since I read a mystery thriller, and I've had this for so long. I got this copy when I went to, is this the one that's signed? When I went to the ALA before COVID. So I've had this for a while, but I'm really excited to dive into this, and I hope that I enjoy it. So happy to put it on my TBR and get some books read from those lists as well. Let's roll again and see what we get. Ooh, 6. Okay, let's see where we're at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, start a new series. All right, I'm trying to be good at not starting series willy-nilly. I guess I could account Castle in Our Bones as one because that's technically a new series. Ooh, you know what? I know what I'm going to add because I have wanted to read it. It is on one of my lists anyway, so let me go get it and then we'll chat about it. Sorry for the weird angle. I am a very, very large Holly Black fan, so I am going to add The Stolen Heir to my TBR. I have wanted to read this, and I've heard, I'm trying to not watch reviews. I notice that when I watch YouTubers, I don't like to watch reviews of books that I know that I'm going to read that are really hyped, because they tend to not like them, because I follow a lot of romance booktubers or like adult fantasy readers, and we just have very different in fantasy books. So I'm trying to go into this book like open-minded, but I've literally wanted this book for so long because it follows, what's his name? Oak, and he is the main character's half-brother in the first series, and I always knew he was gonna get a book, so that's occurred, and I really want to read this, so I'm gonna add this to my TBR. Book 2 doesn't come out for a while, but at least I will have my thoughts about Holly Black's. I was really disappointed in Book of Night, but I have liked everything else she's written, so I'm hopeful that if she goes back to Fairy, I will really enjoy it, and that is why this is on this TBR. And now let's get into my last 2 rolls and see what the fates have me put on my TBR. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, 4. Okay, let's see where that puts us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, a book that has been made into a movie or a TV show. Oh, oh, you know, I have a really good idea. Let me go see if I still have my copy. It would be an audiobook though, like I'll be honest, because I have wanted to do this. So let me go see if I still have my physical copy. And if not, we'll chat about it. I might wind up switching this out midway through, but I think I'm going to add The Golden Compass to this TBR as an audiobook. I have wanted to read this book for such a long time and it's just never worked. So I did pick up the audiobook. I did realize that Bella Ramsey has like a small minor character and that I want to watch everything in her backlist that she's reworked on. So I want to watch it. So I remember reading this when I was super little and then I just never finished on. So I got the audiobook from my Hoopla. I have it for like a month. So I'm going to really focus on reading this and maybe making it like my work audiobook when I'm done with Prince Harry. So yeah, here's a photo. I'm sure you know it, but I'm really excited to dive back into this world. Yeah, that's going to be the book I'm going to focus on for that. If I have to change it out, I could. Like, I do have options of stuff that I could add and include in it, but that is what I'm going to focus on. And if I have to switch it out, I'll find something. But I don't have like a ton of things that have been made into movies and TV shows. So that's the only thing I can think of that I could add right now. But if I have to find something else, I will. But that's where we're at. And now let's go do the last roll and see what we get. All right, we have one more roll and then we're going to talk about a couple of more things I must add. A couple of arcs and stuff that I know I have to add. 3. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh my god. All right, so another series. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about this, starting a new series. What do I want to add? What is like high on my TBR? And then we'll chat about it. So see you guys in a minute. All right, so I think I'm going to add another fantasy book, and that is going to be Cast in Firelight by Diana Swift. And this is another series that I do want to start. So, all right, I'm going to go rework my TBR, figure out what I want to add to it. I got to do my e-arcs, and I will chat with you in a few minutes. Bye, Book Dragon. I'm going to add 6 more books to my TBR. They're all physical, but I do have e-arcs of them. The first one I'm just going to chat about is Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. I just did get approved for a blog tour for this, so I don't actually have the physical arc yet, but I will attach a photo. Alex hasn't put out a book in like 2 years, so I'm really excited for this one. It has to do with Lady Knights, I think. And I love Alexandra Bracken. She's one of my favorite authors of all time, so I'm really excited to see her coming out with a new book. Another book that I'm going to add to this list is Luca and the Night Forest by Talia K. Mejia. This is a book that I'm also on a blog tour for. Thank you so much, TBR and Beyond. I'm really excited to join your blog tour. And this is an arc I got at Y'all Fest, but I'm really excited to read it. I've loved her Rick Riordan Presents series, which is the only other thing that I've read. But the back just got me. A scorned guard, a mysterious acolyte, a forgetting drug, a dangerous virus. One girl caught between the freedom she always wanted and a sister she can't bear to leave behind. So it's another book about sisterhood, Forest. I'm super excited for this one as well. And I have another Rebecca Ross book on my list. So this is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and this is 2 rival journalists find love through a magical connection where they must face the depths of hell in a war among the gods to seal their fate. Shadow Maiden Bone meets lore in this epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope, heartbreak, and the unparalleled power of love. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one as well. I might do a Rebecca Ross reading vlog and see if that works. I'm still trying to figure out what reading vlogs I want to do. I also have another Harlequin title from Inkyard Press. And this is another fantasy book that I've wanted to read, but due to the strike, I was unable to review it. And I vlog pretty much every book that I read, so it's really hard for me to not be able to do that. But I am going to pick up this one, and it is a new take on a fairy lore. 2 sisters, and it has an autistic main character, which again I haven't read a whole lot in fantasy, so I'm excited. And I think it also has the truth about dragons. I'm excited. It has to do with twin sisters, which again is definitely like a buzzword for me. I love books about twins. And yeah, this cover is so pretty. It came out in January, but I'm excited to finally read it. And then I have Muno Asharna and the Seals, the Sword of Wind by Mrs. Shuragyar. This, I just picked up from a friend. She had read it and didn't want to read it anymore. I love middle grade, and I think it's middle grade March if I'm right. So reading some middle grade would be a good idea. And this is another book that's, it comes out in April, so I'm reading it a little bit early. I don't think I got approved for the tour, but my friend said, did I want this? And I did, so. And then the last physical book that I'm going to chat about that I have a physical copy of is Chloe and the Kagasio Boys by Maya Coutinho. And this sort of has like To All the Boys I Loved Before vibes. I think she goes to live somewhere and she has to do like a debutante ball, but like she winds up dating 3 boys to see who's going to be her escort. I could be misremembering what I just read, but that's what I think this is about, and it sounds cute. It comes out in March, and it's another book that I'm really excited for. So those are like my 5 e-arcs that I'm going to try to focus on, and now I'm just going to make sure that everything else is sort of organized. I want to pick a chance card for you all because I didn't do that last month. And I just want to make sure I'm doing books from my list, so I'm going to go make sure that's all done, and then I'll check with you guys and see if there's anything else I want to add to this TBR. I always say this is a guidepost. I'm trying to get better at reading from my TBR, so yeah, let me go do that, and then I'll check in with you guys if I have to add anything. So, see you guys in a few minutes. Well, friends, I'm back. So I did wind up pulling a couple of books. So I did wind up going through like all of my like TBR books, and I wound up pulling a couple, just like going through my list and stuff that I'm interested in. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna add Queen Bee by Amel Howard on my book, or Amelia Howard on my list. This is a diverse YA Regency romp that Bridgerton meets Count of Monte Cristo from best-selling author Emily Howard. I have not read her adult stuff, but I am excited for this one, and this one came from Joy Revolution, which is the imprint started by the Noons, and I got both of the books. I read Highly Suspicious and Fairly Cute, and I was really intrigued by it, so I want to read this one. I also have Spellbound by F.T. Lukens on this because I really want to read more fantasy. I'm in the mood to read more fantasy. So this one is a LGBTQ plus romp, and it has magic at the heart of it, which again, I'm here for, and I think it's dual point of view. I don't know, but I think it is. And then The Davenports is another one that I've been excited for. It's another like Regency inspired story, but this is set in Chicago with an all-black cast, which I think is really exciting. So I'm really excited for this one. And then Midnight Girls by Alicia Jiskia, which is set in a winter kingdom. And I think March is like the last month I could really read it and sort of get away with it, because it like hasn't snowed yet. I am going to add The Behemoth, that is Chain of Thorns by Cassie Clare, on this list. I have avoided like so many videos. I still am avoiding videos. It's just a behemoth. It is close to 800 pages. I do have the audiobook. I just don't want to get spoiled. And I like this series a lot. I know people have issues with Cassie Clare, but I really like her writing, so yeah, those are the books that I'm going to put on my TBR. Will they all get read? Absolutely not. I am also going to pull a chance card for you all because I didn't get to do chances in the past couple of boards. I just want to see what it is, if I could do it. I don't have any like challenges this month. I'm not doing any readathons that I can think of. So yeah, let's see what this chance card says. Oh, read a book that is quote and blurbed by my favorite author. That should be easy. Let me see if I could find one. So yeah, I'll be back for that. Hold on. This might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to do Midnight Girls. It's not like quoted and blurb, but it was recommended on Amy Kaufman's podcast to read it. So I'm going to count this one because she did recommend it, and that's honestly the reason why I picked it up and put it on my TBR. And it's a super short read. So yeah, that is my March TBR. When you see me in April, it's going to be a bit busy. It's going to be a bit chaotic. I have 2 different readathons at once that I have to do. So I'm just trying to enjoy the freedom of this month. Let me know in the comments what are some books you really hope to read in March. I would love to know, and I'll talk to you guys soon for my next video. Bye, Buck Dragons.